Have you ever wondered about the ancient spiritual system that shaped one of Africa's largest ethnic groups? A system without a single prophet or holy book, yet one that sustained cosmology, ethics, and identity for millennia. Imagine a world where the divine pulses through every leaf, every river, and every heartbeat. Where ancestors whisper guidance from the beyond, and spirits guard the balance of life. Welcome to the world of Odinani, the indigenous spirituality of the Igbo people. Today we journey into the heart of Africa's most influential civilizations, the Igbo people. We will explore its ancient origins, meet its deities, understand its rituals, and discover how it lives today. Whether you are reconnecting, learning, or remembering, this is a guide to the path of the ancestors. Buckle up for a journey that's equal parts history, mystery, and wisdom. Welcome to Spirituality with Francis. Hit that like button if you're ready to uncover hidden truths. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss a deeper knowledge of Igbo and African spirituality. Drop a comment below. I'll be in the comment section engaging with every one of you as we build this community together. In the heart of West Africa, where the rainforest meets the savanna, lies a people whose identity is woven into the very soil they walk upon. The Igbo, or Ndi Igbo. They hail from southeastern Nigeria, a region of over 40 million people today. To the world, they are the Igbo, but to understand the Igbo, one must look beyond the surface of modern politics or trade. You must look into Odinani. Odinani is not just a religion, it is a philosophy, a legal system, and a map of the universe. The word itself translates to that which rests and is grounded upon the earth. It is the truth that cannot be moved. It is the general, foundational, spiritual system and cosmology shared across Igbo communities. Odinani encompasses the universal beliefs in Chukwu, Chi, Arusi, reincarnation, and harmony with nature. Distinct from this is Omenani, the practical customs and traditions, often unique to specific communities, families, or subgroups. Odibindi captures this, meaning as it is in the people's place or community, meaning practices vary by locale while rooted in Odinani's principles. Odinani is the core religious beliefs and cosmology, while Omenani describes the customs and traditions derived from it. Odinani is the immutable theoretical foundation, the indigenous spiritual essence tied to nature, deities, and the divine order. Omenani, in contrast, is the practical, evolving application in daily life specific to a community, such as rituals and social norms, which can adapt over time while rooted in Odinani. There is no single pope of Odinani and Omenani. Unlike organized religions with holy books, these practices are oral and passed down through stories, rituals, and proverbs. Many sources use the terms interchangeably, but the distinction highlights Igbo diversity. Core spirituality unites, while local customs add richness. This distinction matters because Odinani provides the immutable why, eternal truths, while Omenani offers the how, evolving social norms and adaptable practices, allowing the culture to endure. We'll explore its core beliefs, practices, and how it endures in a changing world. Let's start at the beginning.
Historical roots of Igbo spirituality.
The roots of Odinani spirituality are as old as the Igbo people themselves. It traces back over 1,000 years, evident in archaeological finds like the Igbo Ukwu bronzes from the 9th century. Exquisite artifacts depicting rituals and deities, suggesting and revealing a society with profound ritual sophistication long before external contact. These were not primitive idols, they were instruments of a complex cosmology. Before colonialism, Odinani was the dominant Igbo worldview, blending animism with monotheism. The Igbo saw the universe as interconnected, humans, nature, and spirits in harmony. The spiritual system evolved alongside the people, rooted in their experience of the land, the forests, the rivers, the thunderous sky. The Igbo aren't monolithic. They are a confederation of subgroups, each with a unique flavor of the same spiritual soup, and each adapted Odinani's general principles into unique Omenani practices in their environments. Igbo society was largely republican, acephalous, meaning no centralized kings, emphasizing democracy through age grades, title societies, and village assemblies. Decisions were made collectively, reflecting spiritual equality under Chukwu, as in the proverb, Igwe bu Ike. The community is strength. However, a few established monarchies existed, like in Onitsha with the Obi as king, blending trade and spiritual rites, and in Aru Chukwu, linked to the Aru Long Juju oracle, Ibini Ukpabi. These monarchs acted as intermediaries, but even they consulted councils, showing Odinani's balance of power. European colonization in the 19th century brought Christianity, labeling Igbo practices as pagan. Many converted, but Odinani persisted underground. Stories abound of resistance, like the Women's War of 1929, where Umuada invoked the earth goddess, Ani, to protest colonial taxes, blending spirituality with activism.
The pillars and concepts of Igbo spirituality.
1. Chi, the personal destiny. Perhaps the most sophisticated concept in Igbo spirituality is Chi. Before you are born, you stand before Chukwu and bargain for your destiny. This contract is guarded by your Chi. Your Chi is your personal genius and your spiritual guardian. There is an Igbo proverb, Onyekwe, Chi ya ekwe. If a man says yes, his Chi also says yes. It is a philosophy of extreme personal agency, meaning you are a co-author of your life with the divine. Every Igbo has a Chi, and it determines destiny, like a soul's blueprint. Rituals of alignment with your Chi include self-awareness, offerings, and divination. A strong Chi brings success, a neglected one, misfortune. 2.
Afor na Ogu.
Truth and justice. Igbo spirituality emphasizes justice via Afor, truth, and Ogu, innocence. Afor is the symbol of truth, integrity, justice, and ancestral authority. It is not a weapon, but a covenant. Holding it binds one to speak only truth, for the ancestors and deities bear witness. Taboos and sacred laws maintain balance, with spirits as enforcers. 3. Nso Ani, sacred laws of the land. Nso Ani are the sacred, forbidden laws of the land, decreed by Ani, the earth goddess. To break them is a desecration requiring ritual cleansing. This is ecological and moral law intertwined. Nso Ani differs from one community to the other and follows a unique system of adherence. When the sacred law of the land is broken, when a taboo occurs, it is called Alu, abomination. This creates a spiritual stench that must be washed away through the ritual of Ikpu Alu, where the offense is symbolically transferred onto an animal. This animal is then led away or sacrificed to carry the sin out of the community, restoring the balance between the people and the Earth Mother, Ani. Some notable Nso Ani taboos in Igbo land are killing of the sacred python, Eken Idemili, Eken Njaba, the messenger of the water goddess. Eating of snail, dog, monkey, tortoise, and other animals a particular community forbids. Murder and suicide. Incest, adultery, and unnatural acts. Altering of land boundaries secretly. Giving false testimony. Cutting of sacred trees without permission. Unmasking a masquerade. Women climbing a palm tree. Eating of the new yam before it has been sacrificed and offered to the ancestors through the new yam rituals. Striking an elder. Specific chi and spiritual abstinences for an individual, which is unique to only them, and many more. 4. Ancestral veneration, honoring the Ndechie and Umuada. In Odinani, the dead are not gone. They are the living ancestors. When a good person dies,
someone who lived by Omenani, they transition to the spirit world as ancestors, or Ndechie, a bridge between the living and divine. They're revered as protectors and intercessors, guiding through dreams and signs. They're invited back through the pouring of libations and various rituals and offerings to ensure blessings and communion. Alongside Ndechie, the Umuada, daughters of the lineage, also act as enforcers of morality.
5. Reincarnation. The Igbo believe in reincarnation and that life is a circle, not a straight line, and souls return to fulfill unfinished business.
An ancestor returns to the family in the body of a newborn. This is why when a baby is born, the elders go for Afa Divination to find out which of the deceased family member is returning back. This also explains why some children resemble ancestors or bear birthmarks as scars from past lives. Anecdotes abound. A child recalling a grandfather's hidden treasures verified by family. It reinforces bonds and morality, urging good deeds for favorable rebirths. 6. Principle of gender, duality, correspondence and balance. Igbo spirituality is built on the concept of duality, gender, and correspondence. Nothing exists alone. Where something stands, something else stands beside it. Everything is dual and has pair opposites and extremes. Gender exists in all things, and everything carries both masculine and feminine principles. As above, so below. All levels of dimensions of existence within the universe mirror one another. 7. The existence of cosmos, Uwa, Ani, and Elu Igwe. Igbo cosmos is a dynamic triad. Elu Igwe is the realm of the sky, the resident of the supreme force, Chukwu, and celestial deities. Uwa is our world of the living. Ani is both the physical earth and the underworld, the domain of the earth goddess and the ancestors. Life, death, and rebirth flow between these realms in a sacred cycle. Good lives lead to ancestral status, evil ones to wandering spirits. This worldview promotes harmony, blending fate with free will. 8. The presence and authority of the deities, Arusi Agbara. At the heart of Igbo spirituality is the high god, Chukwu, the supreme being, also called Chineke, meaning God who creates. Chukwu is omnipotent, too vast to be fully understood, the source of all life, but is distant from daily affairs. Unlike Abrahamic gods, Chukwu delegates to lesser spirits, emphasizing balance over direct intervention. In oral myths, Chukwu created the world by sending a divine blacksmith to forge the earth, then populated it with humans molded from clay, infusing each with a spark of its divinity, the Chi. Below and from this source, Chukwu, flow myriad divine forces known in Igbo as the Agbara, Arusi, deities and nature spirits. From the farm to the market, from the river to the battlefield, every aspect of life has its sacred force. This is not polytheism in a simplistic sense. It is a spiritual ecosystem where each Arusi addresses a fundamental human and natural need. These deities are localized. Villages have patron Arusi, with worship through shrines, oaths, and sacrifices. Prominent Agbara, Arusi, recognized across Odinani, are Ani, the earth goddess. She is the most important deity, is paramount, governing morality, fertility, and the land. She's the custodian of oaths. Violating her invites curses like barrenness. Omenani, the traditions of the people, literally means conduct on the land. If you commit a crime, you haven't just broken a law, you have polluted the earth. Myths portray Ani as Mother Earth who swallowed evildoers. Amadioha, the thunder god. He represents the masculine volatile force of justice enforced with lightning strikes, often depicted with a white ram. Stories tell of him punishing thieves mid-storm. To swear falsely by Amadioha is to invite his lightning as judge and executioner. His color is white, symbolizing purity and truth. Anyanwu, the eye of the Great Spirit, the sun deity. It represents life force, enlightenment, and prosperity, invoked for health. Legends say he chases away darkness spirits. The Igbo believe the sun sees all and knows all. He is the patron of visionaries and healers. Agu, the most complex force. He is the patron of diviners, the spark of genius, and the architect of destiny. He represents the unpredictable and the transformative. To be touched by Agu can mean inspiration or madness. He teaches that order and chaos are two sides of the same coin, and wisdom lies in consulting the unseen through the Dibia. Myths describe him as a wandering healer, testing minds. Idemili, the goddess of the life-giving waters. Her messenger and sacred symbol is the python, Eke Idemili, revered for its beauty and non-aggression. She protects rivers, governs purity, fertility, and the deep mysteries of womanhood. Communities she protects are forbidden from harming the python. Ekwensu, the trickster god, embodies chaos and warfare, testing wits, not evil, but disruptive for growth. Falsely tagged as the devil by early Christian missionaries who needed a semblance of the devil figure. Stories liken him to Loki, Eshu, Papalegba, stirring conflicts to reveal truths. Ikenga, the personal power deity, representing one's drive and success. It is not communal, it is personal. The carved figure with its ram horns for power and machete for action is a focal point for meditation on one's goals. It is the manifestation of claiming one's space and achieving potential through right action. Ogbuna Bali, the god of death. This deity oversees night and transitions, ensuring life's cycle. He is feared yet respected, with rituals at dusk to honor the departed. Njoku Ji, the spirit of the yam. For the Igbos, the yam is not just food, it is a man's dignity. To have a full barn and farming success is to be in favor with Njoku Ji. Arobinagu, the air spirit, guardian and sustainer of forests, wildlife, herbs, and natural balance, and many other localized deities and Arusi. 9. Rituals, sacrifices, and festivals. In the West, the term sacrifice often implies loss, but in Odinani, sacrifice, Ichu Aja, is an investment. It is the fuel that keeps the wheel of the universe turning. These are daily Igbo Afor, Igbo Oji, the blessing of the kola nut, and Itu Manya, the pouring of libations. In Igbo spirituality, the kola nut has a great spiritual and communal relevance in everyday life. It is said that he who brings kola brings life, and breaking kola nuts invokes blessings. Indeed, no ritual can begin without it. It is the social sacrament. Daily Igbo Afor is a communion ritual to connect with one's chi and spiritual forces. The items mostly used alongside the kola nut in this ritual are the alligator pepper, nzu, edo, and drinks. This ensures daily spiritual alignment, protection, growth, and connection.
You will rarely see an Igbo elder drink without first spilling a few drops on the ground. This is the act of Itu Manya. By pouring drink into the earth, the living acknowledges the Ndichie, ancestors. The poured liquid is a bridge. It cools the heat of the spirit world and invites the ancestors to participate in the Igbo Afor conversation. Festivals and ceremonies honoring specific energies and symbols. Festivals like Iriji celebrate harvest with feasts and dances, offering first yams to Ani. Masquerade festivals embody ancestral spirits, educating and channeling ancestral wisdom through performances. Also, deeper rites include initiations like Igu Afa, naming a newborn child, Igbanku, the ceremonial wine-carrying marriage rites, Ikwa Ozu, a solemn, respectful funeral guiding a deceased soul to the afterlife, Iwa Aqua for boys, marking entry into adulthood with teachings on Omenala and ethics, and many female rites honoring Ani for fertility, and many more. Sacrifices, thanksgiving, petition, purification, reconnection, reconciliation, and protection ritual practices, varying by communities and methods, and often guided by a Dibia Aja, using various ritualistic and totemic items.
10. 4 market days. The Igbo week cycles through 4 market days. To the untrained eye, Eke, Orie, Afor, and Nkwo are simply days of the week where people buy and sell. But in Odinani, these 4 days are the 4 pillars of the sky, each with symbolic ties to creation myths, where Chukwu assigned days to 4 primordial spirits. They are the Igbo realization of the 4 cardinal points and the 4 primordial elements. They are Eke, the element of fire, the east. Eke is the first day of the Igbo week. It represents the east, the direction of the rising sun. Its element is fire. It is a day of creation, beginnings, and divine energy. In many communities, Eke is the holy day of the high god, where big spiritual transitions occur. Orie, the element of water, the west. Orie represents the west and the element of water. It is a day of reflection, intuition, and deep emotion. It is the day associated with the Ne-Miri, water spirits. It is a day for cleansing and cooling the heat of the previous day's fire. Afor, the element of earth, the north. Afor represents the north and the element of earth. It is the day of the Earth Mother, Ani. This is the day of stability, tradition, and physical manifestation. It is the best day for planting, for burials, and for grounding one's chi. Nkwo, the element of air, the south. Nkwo represents the south and the element of air. It is a day of communication, movement, and the wind. Nkwo signifies closure and spirituality, linked to ancestors.
11.
Afa Divination, the binary code of the gods. When the balance of life is disturbed, the Igbo do not guess, they consult Afa. Afa is the Igbo system of divination. It is a sophisticated mathematical language used to communicate with the unseen. Through Afa, the Igbo find the answers to life's hardest questions, like why is the rain not falling? Which ancestor has returned in this new child? How do we heal a family curse? It is a science of the spirit. It reminds the Igbo that for every physical problem, there is a spiritual root. If you fix the root in the realm of Afa, the branches in the physical world will begin to heal. The ritual of Afa begins with a chant, Agwu, the deity of divination. Agwu is the force that allows the Dibia to see what the physical eye cannot. Afa is not fortune-telling. The Dibia is not predicting your future. He is diagnosing your current vibration. He is looking at your chi to see where you have stepped off your path. One of the most prominent Afa divination systems in Igbo spirituality is the Afa Ugiri, or Akpukpala. Long before modern computers used binary code, Odinani Dibia were using the same logic. The Dibia uses a chain called Ugiri. It consists of 4 seed pods on a string. Each pod has 2 sides, a concave open side and a convex closed side. When the Dibia casts the seeds upon the mat, they fall in a specific pattern of open or closed. With 4 pods having 2 possible states, there are 16 basic patterns which expand to 256 complex signatures. Each signature is a portal. It tells a story. It might say, the fire, Eke, in this house is too high, or the water, Orie, of the ancestors is stagnant. While the Afa Ugiri is the most recognizable, it is by no means the only way the Igbo communicate with the unseen. Depending on the region and the Dibia's specific calling, the radio frequency used to reach the spirit world changes. Other Afa systems are Afa Miri, water divination, scrying, Afa Enyo, mirror and reflective scrying, Afa Oji, kola nut, Afa
Afor, and others.
The Dibia, bridge between worlds. None of this happens by accident. The architect of the ritual is the Dibia. The Dibia is the scholar priest, healer of Odinani. He is not a witch doctor, but a master of herbalism, psychology, and spiritual technology. A doctor, a psychologist, and a physicist all at once. His role is to diagnose imbalance, whether in a person, family, or community, and prescribe the ritual or remedy to restore harmony with the ancestors and Ani. Through Itu Afa, divination, he reads the vibrations of the universe to find out which spirit is hungry,
or which ancestor is restless.
He doesn't worship the Arusi. He manages, communicates, and intermediates between them and the ordinary practitioners and seekers of spiritual enlightenment. He is the engineer of the invisible world and guides rituals, covenants, and
Odinani
practices.
Odinani Igbo spirituality in the modern era. The colonial and missionary era attempted to erase Odinani, labeling it pagan. For decades, it was forced underground, but you cannot bury a root system this deep. Today, many Igbos are Christian, but the bones of Odinani remain. It is in the way they greet their elders, the way they settle land disputes, and the way they stubbornly believe that they are the masters of their own destiny. Many Igbos harmonize Odinani with Christianity, Chukwu as the Christian god, ancestors as saints. A powerful revival is underway, and Odinani is experiencing a revival as Igbos reclaim their heritage amid globalization, which poses challenges like youth migration. Notwithstanding, young Igbos at home and abroad are researching, practicing, and reclaiming their spiritual heritage as an act of cultural sovereignty. Revivals through books, films in Nollywood depictions, and social media keep it alive, and diaspora communities host masquerades and other ritual festivities. Odinani speaks to modern global needs. Its emphasis on environmental sanctity, addressing ecology. It focuses on personal destiny, chi, thus empowers individuality. Its framework of ancestral connection fights the loneliness of the modern age. It is not a relic, but a resilient, living philosophy for building a meaningful life. Odinani, at its core, is about balance. Balance between individual and community, human and nature, the living and the dead, the seen and the unseen. It imbibes respect for ancestors and the power of personal and communal qi. It offers a map for living in a world that is entirely alive and sacred. Odinani is a living, breathing tradition, adaptable yet rooted. To know Odinani is to know that you are never alone. You walk with your ancestors, you stand upon the Earth Mother, and your qi is always whispering, "Say yes, and I will be with you." If this resonated with you, the journey is just beginning. What aspect of Igbo spirituality fascinates you? Share in the comments. Like and subscribe for more cultural deep dives. Thanks for watching. May your qi guide you well. Yagazie.